OpenClaw looks like a chatbot on the surface, but under the hood, it is much closer to an operating environment for AI work. In this video, we are going to dissect the system layer by layer and see how it turns a raw language model into something durable, tool-using, and always on. This is the mental model to keep in your head. OpenClaw is not one monolithic agent. It is a layered system where inputs flow into a gateway orchestrator. The gateway feeds an embedded agent runtime, and that runtime reaches tools, sessions, and memory, while safety boundaries keep the whole thing stable. So what is OpenClaw in plain English? It is a self-hosted gateway architecture that wraps messaging channels, device clients, tools, sessions, and model providers into one coherent control plane. The model is important, but the real magic comes from the machinery around it. This is why the system feels bigger than a normal assistant. OpenClaw can sit across multiple interfaces at once, route them into the same brain, and keep the conversation anchored in one persistent environment, instead of treating every request like a fresh, stateless chat. One useful way to think about the architecture is as 4 layers. First, the surfaces where humans and devices interact. Second, the gateway control plane. Third, the embedded agent runtime. And fourth, the execution layer where tools, nodes, cron, and external harness agents actually do work. This image from the agent harness discussion is relevant because OpenClaw behaves like a harness, not just an agent. The model is the raw engine, but the harness is what manages context, tools, lifecycle, retries, and steering over long sequences of actions. That is what makes the system reliable over time. Now look at the agent loop itself. An input arrives, the session is resolved, the prompt is assembled, tool calls are executed, results stream back, and state is persisted. The important detail is that OpenClaw treats this like a real run with boundaries and lifecycle, not just a one-off completion call. That structure is what enables the system to control real interfaces and workflows. It can message through channels, call tools, delegate into ACP coding harnesses, and keep each of those operations tied back to the same session identity rather than drifting into chaos. Context engineering is another major piece. OpenClaw injects workspace files, skills, runtime metadata, and relevant memory into the prompt. Then when the context grows too large, it compacts and prunes the right things instead of simply forgetting everything that came before. The broader ecosystem matters too. OpenClaw can extend into mobile nodes, remote clients, dashboards, and always-on assistants that live across devices. That makes it feel less like a chat app and more like a personal agent platform with many connected surfaces. So here is the real takeaway. The future of useful AI systems is not only about better models, it is also about better harnesses around those models. OpenClaw is a strong example of that shift because it treats the language model as one component inside a much larger, carefully engineered runtime.